Chapter 72, Washing the Brain. Maharaj, after listening to the Master, there should be spontaneous conviction. I am ultimate truth, without ego. Your spiritual existence is beyond everything. That conviction is supposed to be established permanently, because it is your ultimate truth, final truth, called Brahman, Atman, Paramatman. As long as you stay in the circle of illusion and keep on separating yourself, thinking that who you are and what Brahman is are two different things, until then you will have difficulties and experience unpleasant, illusory atmospheres. Who you are and what Brahman is are not two different things. You may have fear, feel confused, and experience different moods. You may feel sad or depressed. All these depressions come from an imbalance that is connected with the body knowledge. Therefore, I will say it again, accept what the Master is saying. You have to establish that you are not the body. It is an open fact. You were not the body, you are not the body, you're not going to remain the body. The body you're holding is not your ultimate truth. The listener within you, the anonymous listener, the invisible listener, is totally formless. There is no form. You're listening with the help of this body, but the listener is silent and invisible. I am inviting the attention of the silent, anonymous, invisible listener. Questioner, who is listening? Maharaj, the invisible listener within you. Concentrate. That is your ultimate truth, ultimate identity. But all the time, because of the pressures of body knowledge, we are considering ourselves as somebody else. Until the time comes when all your body knowledge has been dissolved, till then you will feel unstable, experience change, fluctuations. This is open truth. It is open truth, final truth. Wrong associations with the body are preventing you from accepting this truth. Questioner, how do I get rid of these associations? Maharaj, meditation is the only way. It is like cleaning a film and erasing the thousands of images that are on it. Meditation will clean the film of illusionary thoughts, illusionary concepts. I am born, I am dying. All these concepts have to go. Happiness, unhappiness, loneliness, hopes and fears, the past, memories, everything has to dissolve. The most important concept is, I am going to die. Everyone is fearful of death. Nobody likes death. The body will undergo death, but go deeper and ask yourself, find out. If I am unborn, if I was never born, then who is going to die? Who is dying? Death and birth are related to the body only. The body is not my identity. It is open truth. The body will one day be buried or burned, guaranteed, inevitable. Forget about spirituality. This is rational, logical thinking. If you accept that the body is not your identity, then, along that line of thought, there is no death. Such a deduction is unquestionable. So why should you fear death? You are unborn without saying it. This final truth has to establish itself in you. This will happen through meditation, through conversation, through listening, through reading. Slowly, silently, permanently, your forgotten identity is being impressed in you, engraved in you. I am ultimate truth, I am final truth, without saying it. This conviction will appear within you. If you follow the instructions, your practice will result in conviction, the conviction that you are final truth. As I have told you, the practice is essential because unless you prepare the ground and clear the entire field 100%, you will not be able to know yourself. People come here and say the same thing all the time. Why should I recite the mantra and do meditation? To which I say the same thing all the time. Because you have forgotten your identity. The practice is essential because you have forgotten your identity. You are Brahman, you are Atman, you are Paramatman, you are God, you are Master. You have to undergo this practice until it happens spontaneously. Questioner: and what will be the benefits for me if I do all this practice? Maharaj: for me? Forget about me. Attachment will go so that wherever you are and whatever you may be doing, you will be distanced from, removed and unconcerned with all the activities of the body. You will, just like before, be acting as a body, doing your job, but you will not be affected by anything. You will feel completely indifferent, totally and utterly unconcerned with the world. Questioner: because you know who you are? Maharaj: because conviction is there. You will know, whatever I see, it is not my identity, including the body. Whatever I see is the world. Seeing is not my identity. The seer is the identity. Without the seer, you can't see the world. Whatever is seen is not your identity, including the body. Whatever you see is the world. Seeing is not your identity. The seer is the identity. Without the seer, you cannot see the world. Questioner: what is that seer like? Maharaj: anonymous, invisible, unidentified. It is known by different names that point to and indicate ultimate reality. Brahman, Atman, Paramatman, God, Master are just names that have been given to identify it. Just like you were once given the name John, and now you are stuck with this name. If 1,000 people say John, you respond as John. In a similar way, the Master tells you and keeps on telling you, hammering all the time, you are Brahman, you are Paramatman, you are God, but you're not accepting it so easily. Meditation will help you accept your ultimate truth. Meditation is the constant repetition of your reality until it finally sinks in. We are giving you psychological treatment, hammering the same thing all the time. You are Brahman, until it is fully embraced. Questioner: I was just thinking that the process, not that there is really any process, is partly psychological, in that you're replacing an old perspective with a new one. And you're doing this via a kind of brainwashing. I'm not saying it is brainwashing, but you're using a technique of repetition by hammering. It is an accepted fact that if you tell someone something often enough, he is going to believe it. Do you know what I mean? Maharaj: were you not brainwashed as a child by your parents when the identity of boy or girl was reinforced by them, or when you were given the name John or Susan and given a toy train or a doll? When you were told that you were a Christian and belonged to that Christian religion, was that not brainwashing? And so it went on and on with so many concepts that were accepted blindly, all illusion. Questioner: that is true. And then while we were growing up, there were also the influences and impressions from school and peers and television. And this was followed by my identity in the field of work, also as a husband and father, etc. I can see how it all unfolded. And to be honest, Maharaj, I really am benefiting from your brainwashing. I'm not talking about it in the sense of being indoctrinated and then becoming like a zombie, no. Since I have been here, I feel an almost physical, you could say, washing of the brain, a cleansing, a clearing out of a lot of stuff, useless concepts. It is hard to explain. There is less baggage, and I feel empty in a good way. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it is working. Maharaj, suppose a patient is suffering from memory loss and then goes to see a psychologist. He tells the psychologist that he cannot remember anything, and because of this he feels lost and anxious. The psychologist tries to remind him of his forgotten identity. He tells the patient his name, the name of his family members, his work, his hobbies, etc. He is hammering the patient with the facts. The master is also treating patients who are suffering from delusion and considering themselves to be men and women. These patients will say things like, I have done good things and bad things. I am under so much pressure. My mother is dying and I can't cope. I feel guilty because I hurt someone. They are always under the pressure of feelings and uncomfortable atmospheres. So here the master is the psychologist and convinces his patients that they are suffering from a case of mistaken identity. You are unborn. All these problems are an illusion because you are nobody and nothing has happened. Questioner: once there is the conviction, then all these concepts will just go? Maharaj: after conviction, all concepts will dissolve completely. It is up to you. As long as you are considering yourself as an individual, I am somebody, you are not going to know yourself in a real sense. The body is just a cover, like clothes. It is not going to remain. Forget about spirituality. It is a simple fact. Questioner: I can't argue with that. Maharaj: we can't preserve this body forever. One day, willingly or unwillingly, we will lose this body identity. It is called death, but you are not dying. When it's time to leave the body, at that time there will not be any feeling of I am dying, because you will know, truly know, that I am nothing to do with this body. My body is just an external cover, just like these clothes. If we remove our clothes, do we feel, oh dear, I am dying?